All right. Good morning, everyone. Jeff Passan of ESPN. He put out a piece this morning just talking about teams, what they've done this offseason, teams that need to make moves, teams that are winning the offseason so far. And in the Yankees part of this piece, he mentioned that they are talking with the Padres about Luis Arraez. He says here, the Yankees are unquestionably a deeper team, and they're not done either. They've continued to discuss Luis Arraez with San Diego and inquired about Gavin Lux, whom the Dodgers could trade to fill their open second base slot. When the contract demands for relief pitching drop, the Yankees could dabble there too. Tanner Scott's also available, so I know this isn't a Yankee show, but I guess I could throw his name out there as well. Hopefully, he doesn't end up in LA with the Dodgers. Um, but yeah, Luis Arraez with the Yankees. I'm not surprised that the Padres and Yankees are continuing to discuss Luis Arraez. The Padres, maybe if they don't get Roki Sasaki, then they don't want to be trading Dylan Cease, right? Even if they get Roki Sasaki, do they want to trade Dylan Cease because he's still a top of the rotation guy, a frontline starter? I know some of his postseason outings didn't go the best, but he was still one of the Padres' best pitchers. Threw a no-hitter last year. We know like Dylan Cease is a talented arm, so you probably don't want to get rid of him. Although, yes, it would help with the payroll flexibility. He's not going to sign here long term. He's just not. Look what Max Fried got with the Yankees, what Blake Snell just got with the Dodgers. The Padres aren't going to sign Dylan Cease long term. So they could deal him, but another guy is Luis Arraez. He's only here for one more year. I think the Padres could try to extend him and you lower that AAV, and that could help you there. I'd like to have Luis Arraez here long term with this Padres team. I like that he's a contact guy. To have a hitter on the team, not someone that's just trying to hit homers or is known just for their power. I like having that. I thought that he did fine at first base defensively. Um, and there's options, even like if they have no Luis Arraez, there are options still, obviously, on the infield. And I think that's part of why the Padres would be willing to part with Luis Arraez, excuse me. But to have that at the top of your order, and then you have other talented lefty bats like Jackson Merrill. We'll see about Jurickson Profar. That's still really appealing to me to have Arraez at the top of that lineup. And obviously with Tatis and Manny, I think people are sleeping on Manny still, at least on social media. And I know social media is not everything, but still, that's what I have seen. And it's like, did people forget about his second half MVP season when he was finally recovered and ready to go? He was recovered from the elbow surgery. It took him time. That's what happens with injuries. That's what happens when you have a surgery, you know? So I still believe in Manny, obviously. But yeah, like Luis, no doubt the Padres want him in the lineup, I think. It's just financially, do they want to be paying Luis Arraez $13 million this year, which I believe is what it would be, around $13 million in his last year of arbitration before free agency? Do they want to be paying that to him if they can't get an extension done? And if they trade Luis Arraez, if free agent starting pitching is going to be too expensive for them, or let's say they just want to keep Dylan Cease and add to the starting pitching, what if they could get someone like Will Warren back from the Yankees, who I believe is one of the Yankees? Yeah, he's like their fifth ranked prospect according to MLB.com. ETA 2024, 25 years old, 6'2", 175. There's Chase Hampton, who looks like he's in Double-A right now. He is the Yankees' second-ranked pitching prospect, according to MLB.com. I'm not going to act like I know much about these guys. I have heard of Will Warren before. Right-handed pitcher. Looking at the scouting grades, the slider is the only one that's like above average. Fastball's 55, but on the 20 to 80 scale, the slider is 65. But just to have an arm like that, someone that is a controllable arm, would the Padres be interested in that if the Yankees are willing to give that up? The Yankees, they have the money. They're not in the Padres situation, right? I mean, they were clearly willing to give Juan Soto over $700 million. They have room for Luis Arraez. And remember, they didn't bring back Gleyber Torres, so Arraez maybe could slot in at second base. Obviously, you could DH if they want to put Giancarlo Stanton somewhere in the field, or he gets hurt, which unfortunately has happened a lot with Giancarlo. But yeah, he fits there. For me, it's just like I don't want to lose that Luis Arraez bat in the order. But if the Padres want to gain flexibility, they could get young pitching back in this deal, and they don't have to go spend it in free agency and maybe overpay for a starter, for a veteran starter. Or maybe you're not even overpaying based on the market, but you just don't want to pay that much. Could do it that way. And then they could use $13 million, let's say, on Jurickson Profar for his AAV for this year, or $10 million, or whatever it's going to be. And what do you do at first base there? You could have Cronenworth be at first. You could find a way to make it work with a veteran shortstop. If you want Bogarts to be at second base, if you're going to have Croney at first, you could find a second baseman, you could find a shortstop, and maybe I don't think they're going to, but I'm just kind of spitballing here. Maybe you bring back Ha-Seong Kim because he's not getting the money that he wants in free agency, and it's a cheaper 1-year deal. Pillow contract type of thing that I was talking about, I think, earlier in the offseason. And you bring like Nick Ahmed back or something to be the shortstop for a couple months until Kim comes back. Or there are other first base options out there on the free agent market. And I'm going to pull that up right now. Ty France, he is, I believe, one of the options that is out there. I don't think that he would cost too much because he's not coming off of the best year. There's Anthony Rizzo that is out there. I know that he's 35 and he's not Chicago Cubs Anthony Rizzo, but that is an option. But he's also a vet. And so is he going to accept, $5 million? He probably wants more than that, but we'll see what his market ends up being. But yeah, Ty France, he is out there. But I think he had a negative WAR this past year, non-tendered. It says he was with the Reds, so I totally forget that, but okay. He's out there. But I believe if Ty France is someone that holds a grudge, now I know he loves the San Diego fans and went to San Diego State, but I thought that Preller told Ty France that, like, yeah, you're going to be a part of our plans, but then he traded him, pretty recently after telling Ty France that. I thought Ken Rosenthal reported that back in 2020 when that happened. So does Ty France, is he willing to drop that and come back and work under AJ Preller as his GM still? We'll see. But I think he's a fan favorite. Although Arraez is a lefty, Ty France is a righty. Joey Gallo's out there. I mean, it feels like that's always someone that gets connected to the Padres. Jose Abreu, no thanks. Yuli Gurriel, he's 40. Dang. Rowdy Tellez. Those are the options that are showing up on Spot Track. Maybe there's some trade options as well. Or let's not forget about someone like Donovan Solano, who I don't think would come as too expensive. Would the Padres be willing to bring him back and say, hey, you can come play first base? But then what do you do about the DH spot? I would just rather keep Luis Arraez unless there's a package that comes back that you can't refuse. I really value having Luis Arraez in this lineup, but seems like this is the financial situation that the Padres are in, and they probably view like, man, this rotation not great right now in terms of depth. Even if we get Roki Sasaki, we probably need to have a 6-man rotation. If we trade Dylan Cease, what are our chances of being able to sustain a 6-man rotation? And just having Dylan Cease, you want to have Dylan Cease in your rotation when you're trying to contend. And maybe the Padres feel like we can go get a power bat in some type of way to replace Luis Arraez in the order, and we're not going to be able to replace the bat to ball, the not striking out, but we're willing to make that sacrifice. And again, like trading Luis Arraez, that could open up money to go bring back Jurickson Profar. And how much do the Padres value that? I hope that they value bringing back Jurickson Profar. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's what I've got here. Just wanted to give some of my thoughts on this. Yankees, Padres, continuing to discuss, Jeff Passan saying. Luis Arraez in a potential deal. Not surprised to see this going on. The Padres, they're trying to get some more flexibility here to start making moves because they have not made a major league signing yet. Tyler Wade was already on the roster.